We are officially less than 24 hours away from the release of Stranger Things Season 5, so here are my top 5 predictions going into it. But real quick before we get started, if you are excited for the final season, make sure you're following for all of my coverage I'm going to be doing across the next month of this final season. But now let's get into it. Now, my number 5 is by far the furthest stretch of my predictions, but there's just something in the back of my mind telling me that we're not done with Eddie. And that's all just because of D&D lore. If you know anything about Koss, he's this undead servant of Vecna who carries a sword and a shield like Eddie and also has long hair than him. And while I do feel that those are strong enough evidence, I think the real big thing is that there's an episode in this season titled Escape from Camazotz, and Camazotz is the D&D bat god, and Eddie was killed by bats. So I feel like maybe they're teasing at something. I mean, with how big he was in season 4, how he completely took over the culture, I could see them wanting to bring him back. But my number 5 is that Vecna was actually the one speaking to Joyce through the lights, not Will. This is because we know that the Upside Down is stuck on November 6, 1983, the day Will went missing, and the letters and the lights did not exist at that point. We've also seen the first 5 minutes of the final season, and that shows us a bit of what Will was doing in the Upside Down, and I just don't see how there was a lot of time in the timelines between the Demogorgon taking him to Vecna and him getting the tube stuck in his mouth, where he would have had a chance to be in the house speaking through the light. The idea is that Vecna needed Will to go back to be a vessel for the Mind Flayer and the Demodogs, so he needed someone like Joyce to save him. So he was actually the one speaking through the lights the whole time. I think I believe this theory even more when you've seen the Stranger Things The First Shadow play and you understand the relationship between Henry and Joyce and how Henry would know that Joyce is the person who is crazy enough to do something like this and believe this if it means she'll get her son back. The next one is that Will has powers. Again, pulling from the first Shadow play, we know that Henry got his powers from being in the Upside Down for 12 hours, and all the other children in the lab got their powers from Renner injecting some of Henry's DNA into them. So Will didn't need that. He was in the Upside Down for even longer than Henry was, and there's a good shot he has powers. I'll also tack on Max to this theory. The idea that her being killed and then resurrected by Eleven could have also given her powers makes a lot of sense to me, although they could be different ones, like her being able to see into the Upside Down. Sticking with Max for this one, I think that she is alive but trapped inside of Vecna's mind, and that is the key to defeating Vecna from within his mind, like how they fight him in the season 4 finale within his mind. I think she might even be trying to help them from his mind throughout the season, planting things in his brain like Inception, I don't know. But eventually the key to defeating him will be from within the mind by getting in there, saving Max, and she could help them all finally finish him off. But for my final theory, it's simple. Someone finally says the line, well, that was weird, but hey, I've seen stranger things.